Welcome to Bright Ideas, the podcast for leaders building companies and cultures that scale. I'm your host, Desiree B. Sharpe, keynote speaker and CEO of Savix, the AI-powered subscription management platform for small business. If you're ready for unfiltered insights and strategies for building empowered teams and resilient businesses, you're in the right place. This is Bright Ideas, where leadership gets personal. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Bright Ideas. I'm your host, Desiree B. Sharpe. As we head into the end of the year, I wanted to do something a little different. Every interview this season has offered something that made me pause, reflect, or think bigger about how we lead. Today, I'm sharing 5 ideas that inspire me from some of the guests that we've had on the Bright Ideas podcast this year. These are moments that are worth talking about as you plan for the year ahead. These voices come from leaders across industries, disciplines, and backgrounds. But the common thread here is very simple. Each one offers a perspective that helps us grow in some way. So without further ado, let's jump in. First up is Neil Colvin, CEO of Columbus Marketing Experts. Neil shared a powerful reminder that feels especially important right now. If you want to stay relevant, you have to keep learning. You don't want to chase every trend, but focus on staying aware of what's changing and what's possible. Here's my favorite moment from that conversation.
I would say to always set aside time to study and learn what's new and what's trending. You don't have to follow the trends, but you at least need to know what is trending, because some of those trends do end up becoming mainstream, and it's that is the new way to go. And it's horrible when you find out you're the late adopter to something that, oh, I could have used this 2 years ago. That could have really saved me a lot of time, energy, and pain. Plus, maybe I don't want to feel too old. How about that? I don't want to be the person that's I don't know how to turn on my computer, dang it. Uh, so it's a part of that too. It's just making sure that I'm understanding what the newest trends, newest systems are going on. And I think everybody, as long as they do that, then you don't have to be well, I'm going to age out and I'm not going to be able to continue to work because nobody's going to want me or my skills. I think a lot of people forget or don't realize that whatever you learned in school, that was applicable then. But even if you go to college, that's theory. You learn everything else, how to do the job when you're on the job. So with the internet the way it is now, you can go train yourself on pretty much anything you want to do and become a subject matter expert pretty quickly. So as long as you just keep that going, say just like exercise, do it frequently throughout the week, each week, every month, every year. You're going to stay up to speed and you'll know quite a bit. And you'll be that subject matter expert. Before you even realize it, somebody's talking to you and you spit out so much information to them and they're going to say, what? Well, I don't, slow down. I don't know what you just said. Oh, okay. Let me break it down. And it's always feels good to have that. But I feel as long as everybody sticks to that pattern or that path, they don't have to worry too much about whether they'll be relevant in 5 years, because they'll change with the shifting trends.
Next up is Susan Fortner, president of BPR International. Susan's insight is practical, honest, and something many leaders learn way too late in their business journey. And that's investing in a great bookkeeper or accountant and how that can change everything for your small business. More than that, she also talks about understanding your numbers so you can make smarter, more confident decisions. Here's her take.
I think my bright idea, and oddly, my company is 16, 17 years old, so this sounds odd, but I really do think I wished I had done this earlier, is spending money on a good bookkeeper/accountant from early on. I think understanding the numbers, I've always understood the numbers. I mean, I have to do everything else. I think though, really having someone who can help guide you through it. We're good at what we do. That doesn't mean we're good at accounting and bookkeeping. And I think it's critical, but I also think you need to know your numbers, not just your bookkeeper/accountant, but you need to do it with them. I've always done it with someone, so I've always known my numbers. I really am looking forward to working with someone who can understand beyond just here's your spreadsheet and your accounts receivable and payable, but really understanding, okay, how do you grow? Can you afford a person? Are you charging the right amount? Spend money on a good bookkeeper and or accountant can make a big difference.
Alejandro Reyes, global CHRO and advisor, brought a powerful reflection that stayed with me all year. He challenges leaders to ask one question every single day, and that is, what is my organization becoming? It's a small habit with a huge impact on culture, purpose, and personal leadership. Let's take a listen.
The bright idea is a realization, a consciousness exercise. And it's very, very simple. Every night when a leader goes to bed, or at the time leaving the office, or the morning, but at some point where you have 60 seconds for you, close doors, every leader should ask the question, what is my organization becoming? Because we are very trapped in, the metrics of the last month, and we believe this is what the organization is today. I have so many followers, so many millions of revenue markets, and that's good. But if you look at the trend, and I mean the cultural trend, the emotional trend of the company, what is the company becoming? And what did you liberate that day that redirects the becoming towards the purpose? Because it is inevitable that your company is becoming something closer to your purpose or further away from your purpose. You may not know it, but every day, every decision, at every minute, and in every way, there is a little flag tilting towards or further away from the purpose. And that idea that companies are always becoming their purpose because of your decisions and because of your actions is really a culture affirming tool, and is also, becoming aware of the much higher level of impact and legacy that you will have. One simple question: what is my company becoming today? Which begets the other question: am I becoming? Which is the ultimate test for the leader.
This next one comes from Crystal Alegbeleye, a senior HR and talent leader. Crystal's insight is very simple yet profound, and that's to stay a student. Curiosity is one of the most underrated leadership skills, and she breaks down that beautifully in this moment from her guest spot on Bright Ideas. Let's hear what Crystal has to say.
My bright idea is to become a student and to allow yourself to become a student.
And finally, from Alessandro Cazzi of Hello I, we have a mindset shift around career, advancement, and opportunity. Instead of hoping the next role chooses you, choose the roles and companies that align with you and the trajectory you want to be on for your career. When you approach your career from that angle, everyone wins. Here's Alessandro's perspective on navigating your career path.
Well, to actually link to all this career and then job market, I would say it is more of a mind shift, meaning that you really don't have to actually hope that they choose you. You will need to actually change it, and then really you that it is choosing them, because that's where you can really benefit from landing your next role. If you choose them, if you really do believe that that's the right role, that's the right company, it is a win-win. It's a win for you. It is a win for them. It is a win for everyone. So stop thinking of or hoping that they will choose you, but try in actually choosing them. And so to try to actually filter which are the ones that are really good ones, and so that you can choose
which is the career path that you would actually have.
As you move into the new year, I hope these ideas offer a spark, something to reflect on, something to apply, or something that helps you lead with more clarity and intention. If one of these insights resonated, please share this episode with a friend or a teammate. And as always, thank you so much for being part of the Bright Ideas community. Happy holidays. Thanks for tuning in to this week's Bright Bite. If today's message hit close to home, if it felt like I was putting words to something you've been carrying or working through, that's exactly the heart of my signature keynote, Leading Through Life Seasons. It's designed for leaders and teams navigating growth, change, or those seasons when everything feels like a lot, all at once. If you're hosting a team retreat, offsite, or company event, and want to bring this conversation into the room, visit DesireeBSharpe.com to book me to speak. Until next time, be bold, be resilient, be sharp. I'm Desiree B. Sharpe.